Listen, I tried to told y'all. I tried to told you, like they say, but people didn't want to listen. Now, the accuser for Jay-Z's lawsuit has dropped the case. I told you it was spooky from the start. I did a video on this a couple of months ago. At the time, everybody was like, "Oh no, I think he's guilty." I read all my comments under the video. Let me let this play.
We want to begin with this big development. The Alabama woman who said she was raped by rappers Jay-Z and Sean Diddy Combs when she was 13 has actually withdrawn her lawsuit against both men. Both men have denied these claims, and documents submitted by her attorneys did not include any reason or explanation for the withdrawal. Jay-Z's release. His attorneys released a statement saying, in part, the system has failed, and claims that this was simply a money grab. What do you think happened here?
Bill, good to be back with you. This was a troubling allegation because, first off, there were inconsistencies with her story, and it was a very serious allegation. And for instance, she said that her father picked her up from Rochester, New York, to New York City, 5-hour drive, and then drove her home that night. But the father did not remember any of it. That's something you would definitely remember. And she also said there were other celebrities she spoke to at the party. Those celebrities were not even there at the party. So I think what happened is this woman's claims weren't vetted properly. And then once the inconsistencies were revealed, they then cut bait. And in exchange for dismissing this, the plaintiffs' lawyers here are not going to be found to be liable under the law for any misdeeds. They're not going to be sent to the bar for any disqualification. So they're just both going to go their separate ways.
Now, look, that was the first thing for me when I first heard about this story. When I heard that the dad, it wasn't quite clear to him, or he didn't quite remember. I remember hearing about this. I was like, this makes no sense. So that was one of the big things. The first thing is that, a lot of people at the time, obviously the Diddy case, Sean Diddy Combs was going on, and Sean Carter, Jay-Z, everybody was like, oh, I knew Jay-Z was next. Just because they both have the name Sean doesn't mean they're the same person. So you would have had to believe that this 13-year-old girl at the time, what the hell would she be doing at an MTV after party? And you had to believe that Jay-Z would be stupid enough or crazy enough or wicked enough to rape a 13-year-old with Sean Combs. It just makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? I never believed it from the beginning. Now, with Jay-Z, as I said in the last video I did on this, Jay-Z has always been very smart business-wise. So is he a great person? I don't know him personally, but at the end of the day, like, he can get women. Now with Sean Combs, with Diddy, Puff, whatever you want to call him, what came out about him was not that surprising as you learn more stuff. When we first saw the Cassie video, that obviously was a bombshell, but Diddy has been known to manipulate people for a long time. Am I saying he did everything that they're accusing him of? I don't know. But is it conceivable that he's a little bit freaky and weird and kind of controls people and manipulates people on a sexual level? That was never hard to really fathom for most people. So, but Jay-Z has never shown any evidence of that. And then this, like I said, is the most egregious thing you could do. Jay-Z was at the height of his fame in 2000. You know what I'm saying? This is like right after Hard Knock Life, prior to the Blueprint. So you would have had to believe, if you were around and you were old enough that back then, 24 years ago, where Jay-Z was at the time, the idea that he's going to rape a 13-year-old girl, it just doesn't make sense. And I don't care what anybody says, 13-year-old is not going to pass for an adult. You know what I'm saying? So if you're with a 13-year-old, you're with a child. It's not like, oh, you're with somebody who's 17 or 16 that could pass for 19. So I never believed this story from the jump. This environment is ripe with real victims, and it's ripe with people who are just showing up trying to get a bag. And that Tony Buzbee guy, I didn't believe him from the jump. I think he was in it for the bag, like a lot of lawyers. I'm not mad at it, but at the same time, you're going to destroy. First of all, you really should have done more due diligence as a lawyer, because this was a far-fetched case or a far-fetched story from the beginning. And a dad not remembering or being foggy. If my daughter was assaulted by Jay-Z and Sean Combs, I wouldn't have waited 24 years. I would, like I said before, that action would have happened. I probably wouldn't have filed a lawsuit. I'd have been going trying to hurt them or something. You know what I mean? But
she also claimed that she met Benji and Joel Madden at the house party, but they were touring in the Midwest at the time. When asked about her inconsistencies, she stood by her allegations. Combs, who is currently behind bars awaiting his criminal trial on sex trafficking, said that the dismissal is, quote, another confirmation that these lawsuits are built on falsehoods. He's been sued by multiple people who allege sexual misconduct, claims he denies.
This was a case that needed to get dismissed. I really think that it was definitely kind of a smear that was happening to Jay-Z. And what I said on the last video with this, I feel like people wanted to believe it because we're obsessed. We're in love with seeing people go down, especially people that are deemed to be at the top. And Jay-Z's one of those guys that he been winning for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And what I say by winning, not only his business, but just his aura. He's had an image of winning. I would say the only thing I ever saw that kind of made him look a little bit, crazy would have been that video of Solange punching on him in the elevator years back because of his alleged cheating on Beyonce. But, has he been a faithful husband? I don't know. But, he probably cheated. Somebody's worth $1 billion. Yeah, he probably had other women, no doubt. But raping a 13-year-old girl, come on. This is just something that, and again, the biggest point is that when you have lawsuits like that, what it does is it dilutes the real victims. That's the biggest thing for me, because I believe that there are real victims when it comes to Diddy. And there were real victims when it come to R. Kelly. Same deal. R. Kelly's doing his time now, but I believe there are a lot of people that kind of jumped on the bandwagon with R. Kelly. So that's how it goes. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Crucial Convo.